Hi guys, remember Johnny Depp, the longtime fan favorite pirate of the Caribbean? Or as you might remember from more recent events, the actor who's just gotten out of a widely televised, messy, and shocking legal battle with his ex-wife Amber Heard. Well, after a long time we saw him not at the courtroom, but at the VMAs as the MTV mascot, the Moonman. Let's see what this was all about. First up, what happened at the VMAs? This year's MTV Video Music Awards were an exciting affair, with unforgettable performances from Fergie, Lizzo, and Nicki Minaj. Award shows like these are full of surprises and set viewers up for lots of those wow moments. But in the aftermath of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's super public trial, everyone was surprised to see his appearance on the award show. Floating about the stage in a holographic projection, we saw Depp deliver some punchy jokes about how he's open to all sorts of work. Clearly a jab at the hit his career took in light of his legal woes. Making light of his situation, Depp told the audience how he's there because, well, he needed the work. Yes, because the multi-million-dollar lawsuit that he won, okay, there's an appeal, and his $100 million net worth must leave him desperate for work. Anyway, more on that later. This was just Depp's way of re-entering the public imagination with some self-deprecating humor. He talked about how he was available for all sorts of work, stating that he's willing to pop by your weddings, bar mitzvahs, wakes, and literally anything you need. Viewers were confused and surprised as he appeared on stage with this somewhat off-putting brand of humor. But really, is there anything to be so surprised about? So why is it so shocking? Did we think that Johnny Depp would never recover from the Amber Heard trial? No, of course not. We know the industry is very, forgiving when it comes to the struggles of men in the public eye. But there is certainly a conversation going on about how his comeback could have been done in a much more tasteful way. What message is Depp giving out by saying he's available for any and all work? Depp is playing at the wronged trope, using self-deprecating humor to gloss over the sides of him that were revealed in the trial. When he already has a lot of public sympathy, this is actually pretty smart. This doesn't mean we're writing him off and saying his career is over, or should be. Not at all. It isn't over. He's already signed on to several projects, but it's just surprising to see the approach he's using to turn over a new leaf after a very public and very jarring trial. And now, how did the public respond to Depp's cameo? Well, one major question that should be on all of our minds, if it isn't already, is this: what even does Johnny Depp have to do with the VMAs? Why is MTV giving him a platform? Are we missing something? So it seems the VMAs have definitely cashed in on the sheer shock value of having Depp pop by their ceremony. Not only that, it definitely ties in nicely with Depp jokes about how he's willing to take on any work. Well, clearly, starting with the VMAs is a great start. There's been a major response to Depp's appearance on the award show, as the Twitter sphere exploded with comments on how distasteful and crass his cameo was. Paige Skinner, well-known pop culture commentator and BuzzFeed writer, expressed disappointment in MTV for giving Johnny Depp a platform. Up next, disappointed but not surprised. So it seems to be a common reaction we're observing, as people express how they can't pretend to be shocked that the industry hasn't changed its attitude towards men, even after their unforgivable behavior has been exposed. So if you think Depp was cancelled, and whether that's the right thing to do or not is, of course, a whole other story, we can see that people are shocked at how easily he's coming back into the public eye. This appearance has also unleashed a wave of criticism for MTV itself for giving the green light on what some Twitter users have called an attention-grabbing stunt. However, if you're looking for some humor in the situation, it is a matter of perspective how much of a big comeback this was. Viewers took to Twitter to laugh at how Johnny Depp's big comeback was nothing more than a projection of him in an astronaut suit in an award series that has nothing to do with him. So while it is right to be annoyed at the very fact that he was given a platform, we should also zoom out and see that it's not the most impressive comeback out there. Now for the celebrity comeback phenomenon. Okay, so we know that Johnny Depp wasn't going to live under a rock forever. On the contrary, he's garnered so much support from the public, for reasons we can get into later, that it was inevitable that he would feel confident enough to re-emerge soon. Appearing in an award show is nothing, given Depp is all set to appear in some major productions in the next couple of years. He's directing a film about the Italian artist Modigliani and starring as Louis XV in a French film. Yes, you won't see him on Pirates of the Caribbean or Fantastic Beasts anymore, but his career is far from over. The VMAs are also making sure of that. But let's talk about this this culture of celebrity comebacks. As written in The Atlantic, Depp's appearance on the VMAs is just how celebrity comebacks tend to work. The celebrity in question keeps a low profile for a while waiting for the dust to settle, and then re-emerges to remind the public what a star they are. Celebrities under fire do everything they can to avoid the nightmare of irrelevance, and Depp is no different. Wait, so what's the problem? If now you're thinking, okay, he was part of a brutal and public legal battle, and now he's easing back into his regular life of stardom, following a traditional model of Hollywood comebacks, so what? Well, here's the problem. We can't be so neutral about this, because we can't lose sight of what the trial was about. Amber Heard had accused Depp of domestic violence and psychological abuse in conversation with The Sun, over which Depp had sued her for defamation. The defamation trial was watched by people all over the world and revealed some horrible facets of Depp's behavior in his marriage. There are literal recordings of him admitting that he hit her. It was found that the comments of his lawyers against Amber Heard were also defamatory. It was a constant battle between Heard calling him abusive and him calling her unstable. What seemed to keep Depp going was the constant outpouring of public support. So why were people supporting him this way? Well, because he's Willy Wonka and Jack Sparrow in the public imagination. He can do no wrong. In a world that's coming to terms with having conversations about the experiences of women in abusive marriages, there is still the element of wanting to make excuses for our celebrities. The trial revealed the misogyny that is embedded into American society, even the apparently progressive and woke world of Hollywood stardom in the post-Me Too era. Social media played a particularly distasteful role in this trial, what with its endless memes at Amber Heard's expense adding to the humiliation of a publicized trial that ripped apart her personal life and challenged her sense of reality. We think New York Times writer A.O. Scott put it best when he said that one of the biggest advantages Depp had was that he's a better actor and a bigger star. That somehow made him more human than Amber. And you know what certainly helps? That he's a man. Now, in other news, what do we know about Hollywood comebacks? Johnny Depp is not the first and certainly won't be the last person to suffer a hit to their public persona and make a comeback. In fact, people are talking about how much everyone loves a good old redemption plotline. People love seeing someone make things right again, as if our faith in humanity can only be restored when we see a holograph of a now-known abuser, Johnny Depp, on the VMAs. Look at comedian Louis C.K., who kept a low profile for a year or two after being accused of sexual misconduct. He's selling out shows now once again after apologizing. We see Kevin Hart as the star of Netflix originals in spite of his homophobic comments, and we see Arnold Schwarzenegger retain his nearly godlike status in Hollywood, featuring in a new Terminator movie soon after being accused of sexual misconduct in the Me Too movement. So Johnny isn't alone. You might be thinking, what's with the Moonman? If you're not an avid follower of the VMAs, you might be wondering what's with the Moonman outfit. Well, it turns out the astronaut has been the official mascot of the VMAs. This actually has a cool story. MTV launched in 1981, and the first thing they showed on their channel was the launch of the Apollo 11 space shuttle. They then turned this into an animation of the astronaut, the Moonman, planting an MTV flag on the moon's surface. And that's the story behind the Moonman. Well, that's it for this video, folks. Let us know what you think of Johnny Depp's appearance at the VMAs. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.